We should be shamed.
She's so freaking mean to me.
On the deep end of it, they have an idea that there's a Messiah coming and they're not sure who it's gonna be. They just know it should stick out. So they look every time something sticks out to make sure that's not it.
Katt Williams is on a roll, exposing industry leaders for the nasty stuff they get up to behind the scenes. And his recent target is Oprah Winfrey. For years, Oprah has been hailed as the black savior. But according to some insiders, it's all an act. Over time, Oprah has been accused of harboring a dark agenda against black actors, going as far as to lowball them and even blacklist them from the industry. Artists like Monique, Ludacris, and Toni Braxton know all too well about Oprah's thirst for power and fame. And Katt Williams is making sure people don't forget. Just what did Katt say? And is Oprah really out to ruin black actors? Let's find out.
When our people call out for help, we gotta understand. You know what I mean?
As one of the most successful black entertainers, Oprah has a lot of folks looking up to her. However, not everyone sees Oprah as a black icon. For some, Oprah is the very reason why black actors haven't been able to succeed in the industry. While the allegations may sound unbelievable, Oprah has revealed her true colors from time to time. Take a look at her interview with Toni Braxton from back in the day. The Grammy Award-winning singer rose to fame in the 1990s with hits like Unbreak My Heart. However, things came crashing down for Toni when she had to file for bankruptcy in 1998. Back then, Braxton jumped on the Oprah Winfrey show to clear the air around her financial woes. However, what was supposed to be a chance to tell her story soon turned into an interrogation. Oprah asked Toni ridiculous questions like whether she owned Gucci silverware or a lion rug. She was trying hard to make it sound like Toni was the one responsible for her mess.
You're used to wearing $5,000 and $6,000 and $7,000 gowns at a time and spending $500 on a pair of shoes. Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%?
100%.
How did that happen?
Because I allowed all my finances to become everyone else's finances. That's pretty much how I got here.
Years after the interview, Toni recalled the incident, describing Oprah as mean and even calling her a fake humanitarian.
I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me.
I read that you were upset about stories that your overspending caused this.
She says to me, I hear you have Gucci flatware. I'm Oprah Winfrey and I don't have Gucci flatware.
First of all, I didn't know Gucci made silverware.
You ain't got Gucci flatware because you didn't want to buy it. It's not because you couldn't afford it. What did you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big.
To fans, it seems like Oprah was trying to push her own narrative while making a laughingstock out of Toni. Dave Chappelle had a similar experience, only he didn't let Oprah win. Back in 2006, the comedian famously appeared on the Oprah Winfrey Show to clear the air around his decision to turn down a lucrative $50 million deal from Comedy Central. While Dave clearly said he didn't want to go down the same road as his fellow celebrities and lose himself, Oprah had other things on her mind. Time and time again, she would imply that Dave suffered from a mental illness that led him to make that decision. She even went as far as to ask him if he escaped to Africa for psychiatric treatment. Fortunately, Dave was quick to fire back. He shut down Oprah's attempts to paint him as crazy and walked away unscathed. Unfortunately, Toni and Dave were not the last to be on the receiving end of Oprah's mistreatment. Rapper Chris Ludacris Bridges knows all too well about the games Oprah plays. Back in 2005, Ludacris was set to appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show to promote his new movie, Crash. However, the interview with Oprah is not a fond memory for the rapper. During a sit-down with GQ magazine, Ludacris recalled feeling unwelcome and highly uncomfortable with Oprah. What's more, he revealed that when the cameras weren't rolling, Oprah took shots at him for using the N-word.
I was there for Crash, for the movie.
Yeah.
And basically she said something about not agreeing with my music, but she thought I did great in the movie. And of course I was up there with the whole cast of Crash. And so I didn't necessarily feel like that needed to be said. You know, you didn't agree with my music. And even if you don't agree with certain songs I made, say you don't agree with certain songs, don't say you just don't agree with all of my music.
Right.
So it was a lot of comments that actually basically she was able to say what she said.
According to the rapper, she edited out a lot of my comments while keeping her own in. Of course, it's her show, but we were doing a show on racial discrimination, and she gave me a hard time as a rapper when I came on there as an actor, and that's not all. Ludacris continued his story saying, after the taping, she pulled me into a room, and we had a 5-minute conversation. What I got was that by having rappers on her show, she feels like she is empowering them. But for Ludacris, the entire meeting felt like being at someone's house who doesn't really want you there. Looking back on the the interview, fans feel like Oprah was on a mission to embarrass Ludacris publicly. While Oprah has been doing what she pleases for a while, a good number of celebrities have called her out for her actions, including 50 Cent. Back in the day, Oprah made an enemy out of 50 by condemning his music on her talk show. In her eyes, 50's music glorified gun violence, and so she refused to have him on her show. Now, back then, 50 was still in the early part of his career. He wanted to appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show for the sake of his grandmother. However, when the queen of talk show hosts slammed him like that, 50 decided he wasn't going to play nice either.
Does Oprah, the real Oprah, ever listen to you?
No,
No.
Once or twice she's listened to me. And she says, okay, we agree not to agree on those topics.
Yeah, because you had a little feud, well, a long-standing feud, right? For a while in the whole hip-hop culture and stuff.
You know what it was like? I see her show, and every time she make mention of what she felt like was wrong with hip-hop culture, it was something that was on my album that was the largest debut in hip-hop album. And because it's a platform that, you know, you would see the A-lister, I didn't want my audience to misinterpret me like I wasn't an A-lister or wasn't worthy of being there with because of the content and the creative choices. So when I finally did make it to the show, I was like, oh no, if I can't be your friend, at least let me be your enemy. So we can coexist, baby.
During an interview with The Guardian, 50 said, she was completely against everything that was in my music. So she ain't never going to have me on that show. I'm never going to reach that platform, which is confirmation of you being a huge success. So I just said, okay, if we can't be friends, then at least let's be enemies. And so in true 50 fashion, he named his dog after Oprah.
You have a couple of pets as well,
Yeah.
a dog and a cat with interesting names, to say the least.
Yeah. That's Oprah.
That's Oprah.
Yeah.
Named after the Oprah, and your cat's name
Yeah,
is?
and then Gail. But
Gail, okay, Gail.
Now, Oprah and 50 did manage to make up for the briefest of moments, with 50 finally landing the interview he always dreamed of. However, fast forward to the time when the industry was rife with sexual assault allegations against Russell Simmons, and the relationship turned sour once more. Back then, Simmons had been involved in some legal troubles. However, after a thorough investigation, it was proven that Russell was innocent. He had passed his 3-hour lie detector test and was cleared of all charges. That should have exonerated him in the public eye as well, right? Except Oprah thought otherwise. She announced plans for a documentary focusing on the controversy surrounding Russell. From all angles, it seemed like Oprah was on a mission to paint Russell as guilty, even when he had been deemed innocent in the eye of the law. But 50 was not having any of it. He jumped on Instagram and wrote, I don't understand why Oprah is going after black men. No Harvey Weinstein, no Epstein, just Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons. This is sad. These documentaries are publicly convicting their targets. It makes them guilty till proven innocent. And he was right. Oprah had been friends with Harvey Weinstein. But did Oprah make a documentary about him or invite his victims onto her show? No. Instead, she refused to even address the allegations during interviews.
When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain.
So the question that fans have been asking is, does Oprah only care about exposing predators when it's black actors? How come she lets her white friends walk around without any accountability? Does she harbor a dark agenda against black celebrities after all? If you think the situation has changed in the present, then think again. Oprah is set in her ways. More recently, she was exposed for trying to lowball Taraji P. Henson. For context, Taraji paired up with Oprah for her new movie, The Color Purple, where she took on the role of Shug Avery. As two of the most prominent black women in the industry, fans had a lot of expectations from the iconic duo. Unfortunately, it turned out that Oprah brought her scheming to The Color Purple as well. Over the years, Taraji has sent waves in the industry by speaking up against the pay disparity that black women experience in Hollywood.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathin'.
And unfortunately, it seems like Oprah is one of the perpetrators. During an interview with the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, Taraji revealed that she almost had to walk away from Color Purple owing to pay issues.
Where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Because you know.
The news came as a shock to fans. As a black icon, fans expected Oprah to uplift black voices in the industry and break the cycles of oppression and inequality. Unfortunately, it seems like Oprah would rather drag down her peers than help them succeed. What's shocking is that Taraji was asked to audition for her role in The Color Purple, despite being the director's first choice. Taraji spoke about the experience, explaining how despite all her success as a black actress, she still has to prove her worth when a new project rolls around. And what's surprising is that Oprah is part of the problem. However, for fans who have been following Monique's story since 2009, Oprah's schemes are not news.
Where Oprah Winfrey and I have a problem is Oprah Winfrey called us up and she said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for molesters. My brother Gerald is a charmer. So my mind thought was, because she said, do you want to come on? I said, I don't want nothing to do with that cat. I said, I know it's up to a scam, but people can change.
Back in 2009, Monique had the chance to work with Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry on their movie Precious. Now, Monique had just landed an Oscar nomination that year, and the co-producers wanted to build on the hype around Monique, so they asked her to go on a press tour. The only problem was that Monique wouldn't be paid for her efforts. Already feeling burnt out from filming the movie, Monique politely turned down Oprah and Tyler's request and chose to spend her time with her family. While at the time, the co-producers seemed understanding of Monique's situation, the actress soon learned that wasn't the case. Following the incident, articles started popping up about Monique being a diva on set. Unfortunately, in the world of Hollywood, rumors like these can be catastrophic for one's career, and that's exactly what happened to Monique. Her career took a nosedive as no one wanted to work with her, and deep down, Monique knew who was responsible: Oprah. During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Monique recalled the incident, explaining why she said no to Oprah back then. Oprah, I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband and I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part, she continued. So we mutually agreed to disagree. That was it. Next thing I know, I am considered difficult and hard to work with.
We got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. I said no to Oprah Winfrey. I said no to Tyler Perry. I said no to Lee Daniels. And I said no to Lionsgate. And the difficulty came in when people that look like me, like Oprah, Tyler, Lee Daniels, and I gotta put my brother Steve on the list.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the end of Monique's troubles. In a shocking twist, Oprah invited Monique's brother on her show, the same brother who had essayed her. Now, the American TV host had asked for Monique's blessing prior to inviting him on the show. However, imagine Monique's surprise when the episode aired on April 19th, 2010, and she saw her mother, father, and another brother seated on the show as well. And no, Oprah did not get Monique's blessing for this one. She invited Monique's parents on the show, despite knowing that they weren't on speaking terms. Monique felt a sense of betrayal. Oprah had blindsided her with this move, and what's worse, she never apologized for her actions. Following the incident, Monique demanded a public apology from Oprah during several interviews, even going as far as to confront her during award shows. But Oprah didn't budge, creating a rift between her and Monique.
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
Following the incident, Monique found herself blacklisted from the industry. While people like Steve Harvey refused to support Monique in the spotlight, folks like 50 Cent remained unwavering in their support. He posted a picture of Monique on his Instagram with the caption, "All in favor of Monique being back on top. Say make it happen. Stop messing around." He said what others were afraid of and asked Oprah and Tyler Perry to apologize to Monique. He even went as far as giving Monique a role in season 2 of his hit show BMF. That said, Oprah's actions are confusing for fans. As a black entertainer, she should be uplifting fellow black celebrities. So why would she sabotage the careers of her brothers and sisters? Well, according to one theory, Oprah works as a handler for the Hollywood elite. Her job is to keep the black community in check, making sure that only a select few can climb the ladder of success. Fans think it's why Oprah's been so successful in her career. career, while others like her have struggled to achieve the same success. Take Iyanla Vanzant for one. Back in the day, Iyanla made appearances on the Oprah Winfrey Show as a relationship expert. She was under training to launch a talk show of her own. However, when the time came, Iyanla approached Oprah, asking her to join her. But guess what? Oprah wasn't a fan of the idea. She turned down Iyanla's offer, but Vanzant went on to venture out on her own. Unfortunately, the Iyanla talk show only ran for 6 months before it was canceled. Now a lot of fans think that Oprah pulled the strings behind the scenes to make sure that Iyanla didn't find the same success as her. Oprah's previous protégés, like Dr. Phil McGraw, have managed to make it with their talk shows. So the fact that Iyanla's career didn't take off as it should have is suspicious, to say the least. Interestingly, Iyanla doesn't blame Oprah. She believes that she messed up, which led to miscommunication between the two ladies. But knowing Oprah's track record, fans think they know what really happened.
If you argue against reality, you will suffer.
I just want everybody to receive that for a moment. I just
Because
want you to receive
that's
what
so
that
many of
really
us
means.
suffer.
What that really means.
As for Katt, he has never been a victim of Oprah's underhanded games, but he's making sure to speak up for all those wronged by America's favorite TV host. Over the years, Katt has built a brand for himself as an unwavering voice, exposing everything that goes on in Hollywood. And although his career took a hit, Katt never strayed from his path. From saying no to Diddy of all people to speaking up about the dress controversy, Katt has never shied away from the daring truth. Recently, during an episode of Club Shay Shay, Katt gave his 2 cents about the Taraji P. Henson Pay situation. And guess what? He stands with Taraji. He called Taraji's situation one of the saddest things ever.
It was the saddest thing ever because imagine being in your genre, in your sub-niche, whatever it is. Imagine being in your lane. Imagine being one of the very top of your lane. That to the point where if they don't take you for the role, there's not 3 black actresses that they can say are bigger than you that we're gonna give this to. Imagine you being at that point and have to humble yourself and say,
Now, he didn't name drop Oprah, but fans know very well who was responsible. Katt then went on to comment on the current state of the industry. He pointed out how victims are forced to stay silent because they don't want to appear weak or smear someone's character.
The period where the victims get to say, they've been hurting me for a long time. And I just ain't said nothing because I was trying to be strong and I didn't want to shame anybody.
According to Katt, the only way to end this endless cycle is for black industry leaders to use their platform to uplift black voices. He thinks the only way forward for the industry is to stand together, and anyone not willing to help his brothers and sisters is right to be labeled a gatekeeper.
Be what you're gonna be, but put your people on. If you a gay person and you in there, put some other gay people on. Put somebody on. Or don't be wondering why people keep saying gatekeepers. Because clearly, y'all are keeping these gates. Clearly.
However, as fans have already established, Oprah does not care about her brothers and sisters. Time and time again, Oprah has shown that she would rather build her career off other black celebrities rather than with them. One fan said, Katt Williams, Monique, Dave Chappelle, and the others coming out all can't be wrong. Something stinks in Oprah land and Hollywood. Another fan commented, Katt is right. She has a secret agenda to gain people's support to watch the movie. She understands marketing and how to use various persuasive techniques to promote a product. She knows that publicity, good or bad, can be used as a marketing strategy to raise awareness and generate revenue. At the end of the day, fans think Oprah only cares about power and fame. As a prominent black voice in the industry, Oprah should be giving back to her community, and yet she stands as their biggest enemy. However, as more and more industry insiders come forward, cracks have started to appear in Oprah's empire. Between the Taraji P. Henson controversy and Katt Williams' shocking comments, Oprah's public image is taking a hit. She has been trying to save her reputation by addressing rumors and posting pictures with Taraji to clear the air, but the truth is out there. The question is, will the recent troubles finally mark the beginning of her downfall? And will more entertainers step forward to reveal the skeletons in Oprah's closet? Only time will tell.